Chapter 10, Phoenix in Flight. The morning after your heated exchange with Phoenix, you head into work with butterflies in your stomach. It's hard not to be nervous about seeing him. I can't even imagine what he's thinking today. I know I shouldn't expect the worst, but we almost hooked up. The one thing we weren't supposed to do. If he looks at me differently now. You're so focused on your own thoughts, you almost don't notice the rest of your squad hanging out around the common room. Hey, Ridley, you left too early last night. We had darts tournament and I whipped the tar out of Dak. I still maintain that it was all luck. We made a bet and he's supposed to shave his head, but he appears to be chickening out. You were too drunk or need to get your ears checked? There's no way I'd do that. If it's any consolation, I think you'd be just as cute without your gorgeous locks. Please, you know Declan's a modern-day Samson. All his power is stored in his hair. The squad laughs, but you find it difficult to join in. Amelia notices your serious expression and frowns. Why didn't you come back after talking to the chief? Yeah, we figured you were just gonna talk him down and come right back. I can't possibly tell them the truth, but what excuse would be good enough in this situation? I didn't come back because... honestly, I just got tired. Really, that's it. I thought we'd be way more chismy than that. Yeah, you didn't seem that tired when you ran out after Chief Phoenix. I guess it all just hit me all at once I left the bar. Relax, you two. Ridley is allowed to change her mind without having to justify it to us. As a veteran of early bedtimes, I agree. Let Ridley get her well-deserved rest. Amelia nods, but gives you a searching look. She doesn't quite buy your excuse. She obviously knows I'm hiding something. Hopefully she doesn't pry. Sorry for prying, Ridley, but you can't blame us for being a little curious. Today's been weird. That doesn't sound good. It's nothing earth-shattering. It's just... the chief took a personal day. We were wondering if you might know anything about it. A personal day? I really hope that doesn't have anything to do with us. The chief really didn't say anything about why he's not coming to work? Nope, just took the day. He's never abandoned his duties without a good reason. That's why we're worried. We thought you might know if something happened to him. It's nothing. Nothing happened. While you all turn as Liang enters the common room to pour himself a cup of coffee. You wait expectantly as Liang sips his coffee, even pausing to scratch Ash and Smokey behind their ears. Well, Liang, anything you care to add to that statement? We're all worried about Chief Phoenix. Harold's right. Phoenix would never just take the day off without a good reason. Especially without giving us advance notice. It's just so unlike him. You obviously know what's going on, Liang, so please put our minds at ease. Like I said, nothing specific happened. At least not recently. But it is personal. I'm really not sure if it's my place to say anything. It's strange. Liang isn't usually this subdued, especially when it comes to Phoenix. Anyway, what are you all staring at me for? The engines could be washed, floors swept, kitchen cleaned. Need I continue? Nope, we're on it. Sorry, Liang. The squad jumps to attention, and you follow Liang into the engine room. I don't get it. You've got the squad hanging on your every order. Shouldn't you be relishing the fact that you're taking over the chief's job? Relishing it. If it were a different day, but today... He winces. He's already said too much. You step closer to Liang and speak in a low voice. You're starting to freak me out, Liang. What's going on? Is this about your fight with Phoenix? In a sense, yes. I guess it kind of is. More specifically, it's about what caused our fight. It's about Shelley, isn't it? He flinches at the mere mention of her name. He's quiet, weighing his next words. Listen, Ridley, I really shouldn't tell you this. Suddenly the door of the engine room bangs open and Declan appears looking flustered. We got trouble, guys. My mom just showed up. And she'll want to know where the hell Phoenix is. This is bad. Shoot Liang a beseeching look. Please, please don't ruin this for Phoenix. Commissioner's gonna have questions. I'll make myself scarce. I don't feel right trying to sabotage Shay. It's not today of all days. Liang ducks into the engine, and your mind races as you follow Declan back inside. There's my favorite rookie. I was just asking where you were. Commissioner, what brings you by? I wanted to drop in, see how everyone is doing, check how morale is, give it a boost if necessary. The looks on the faces might have answered that question for me. What's wrong? You look at Amelia and Declan who stare open-mouthed at her. Feels like all I'm doing today is making up excuses. Nothing's wrong, Commissioner. It's just, we were all talking about your birthday. Yeah, Mom, I never know what to get you. And I tell you every year that you don't have to get me anything. It's kind of a son's obligation, though. A little white lie, but the Commissioner seemed to buy it. Now I wonder what Deck and Amelia were freaking out about. Well, I'm going to grab a cup of tea in the kitchen, and then I'll have a walk around. As soon as the Commissioner's out of earshot, both Amelia and Declan turn you in a panic. Good cover, really, but we can't let the Commissioner find out the Phoenix is near. Yeah, we all know that. Yeah, it definitely won't look good if no one knows where the battalion chief is. Well, she's gonna notice eventually. I'm sure she'll want to speak to the chief. The three of you quickly try to come up with a plan. We'll distract from Phoenix's absence. It's untimely, Declan, that hits on something that might work. Wait, I've got it. Mom said she was here to boost morale, right? What if we took her to O'Malley's? We could say how it's been a slow day and it would mean a huge morale boost for everyone at the station. Plus, it worked last time after Phoenix Liang's fight. Really made the right move then, and I think it's the right move now. Amelia glances back towards the kitchen, nervous that the Commissioner will return at any moment. Honestly, I think it's our best option. She'll get to boost morale like she wanted to, and no one will think twice if the chief is too busy to go. It's a perfect plan. Here she comes. Let's hope this works. As the Commissioner rounds a corner with a hot cup of tea, you cross your fingers and hope for the best. It's a diamond choice. We'll be fine. Commissioner, we just had the best idea. What if we go down to O'Malley's for a couple drinks? The gang would love a chance to have a drink and see the Commissioner let her hair down a bit. Normally I wouldn't condone drinking in the middle of the day. What, are you kidding? You love day drinking. Right, you are, son of mine. Let's round up the squad and head out. Sure, while later, you and your squad are in O'Malley's with the Commissioner. It's slow, since it's still afternoon, but now this is a treat. It's not often we get to see your happy faces so early in the day. Always happy to be of service, Clarence. Michael, be a darling and get this squad around. Coming right up. I know your squad's drinks free here, but pretend I say drinks are on me. Right, roger that, Commissioner. As Michael starts pouring your beers, your gang finds seats at a large table. The Commissioner eyes you. A shame Chief Phoenix couldn't come along. I understand he's busy, but... Trails off meaningfully. You catch Harold and Lux's eyes from across the table, and they look panicked. Play it cool, really. There's no need to raise any red flags. Sadly, Chief Phoenix is married to the job. Sometimes I think he would live at the fire station if it were allowed. Don't get me wrong, I admire his dedication. It's just... She glances at Liang, who's pointedly staring at his feet underneath the table. Well, it used to be a lot more fun. Things change, Commissioner. Sometimes it isn't for the better. But enough about Chief Phoenix. We're here to unwind, aren't we? Liang gets helped out Michael deliver your beers to the table. You watch Liang, your thoughts racing. He was going to tell me something earlier. The situation with Phoenix is clearly affecting him too. You push your thoughts aside for now, determined to keep up the appearances. commissioner. The squad's performance is really keen on the upswing recently. Kudos. Well, with everything that's been going on, it's more important than ever that we're united. I commend you for that. Seriously, it's a hell of a time to be a firefighter in Boston. We're lucky to have Ridley on the squad. She's really helped us out on a fair few of scary situations. For real, if I were Ridley, I wouldn't even know which story to tell first. I know we'd all had a lot of wins, but I'm sure Ridley is especially proud of one thing. I'm proud of how we handled the carnival fire and the metro crash. I think the zoo one was actually pretty good. Yeah, no, that one was actually pretty good and humane. I know it's not exhilarating as a dangerous fire, but we got to save an endangered species. Yeah, the red panda was mad adorable. I just hope Justin was able to get the help he needed. Yeah, that situation could have been, could have gone a lot worse. While your squad chime in, you can't help but notice the commissioner's face light up. Well, I'm thrilled to hear that your house is getting on so well lately. The commissioner smiles again as Michael and Liang show up with drinks. I don't want to speak ill or out of turn, but I feel like your squad has been happier lately. It's Ridley. She's Engine 57's good luck charm. I don't know if I'd go that far. A lot of bad luck has fallen on us since I started here, too. That sounds like you're just being modest, Ridley. You're obviously a good influence on these clowns. Hey, who you calling clowns, clown? Michael laughs and ducks out of the way as Declan tries to playfully shove him. Liang sits down with a tentative smile. I can't take you anywhere, can I, Declan? Catch Liang's eye and return his grin, but note that the smile doesn't quite reach his eyes. Hey, Liang. I'm glad you came out with us. Not of everyone I had the fewest opportunities to get to know you. I'm really looking forward to fixing that. Liang blinks, disarmed. Declan claps him on the shoulder. Liang used to be our chief. As much as I miss those days, it's nice to be able to spend time with him as an equal. Liang rolls his eyes, but his grin widens a little, even as he shrugs Declan off. Cooler with the equal talk. I'm still technically your supervisor. Or superior. Everyone laughs, draws Clarence over to the booth. He beams at all of you, even Michael. I have to say, I had some worries when I heard 57 and was merging with 59. I didn't. You were my favorite customers when you were a part of separate squads. Now that you're all working together, it's like a dream team. I've never felt safer to be in Boston. That's honestly really nice to hear, considering. You all go quiet as Amelia trails off. Her implication is clear, considering there's an arsonist on the loose. Yeah, I'll admit having an arsonist on the loose isn't exactly sunshine and roses. But that's what I'm saying, Clarence. We know the firefighters of Boston FD. We've heard your stories. We know what kind of people you are. And honestly, I wouldn't want anyone else protecting me in a situation like this. The squad exchanges glances, feeling strangely bolstered by Michael's confidence in you. Thanks for saying that, Michael. For what it's worth, we won't rest until we know you're safe. Things might be scary in the city right now, but trust me, we'll do everything we can to protect you. Michael and Clarence both beam at you. See? How could you not feel totally safe with firefighters like Ridley exist? Okay, I'll admit that mini speech did make me feel better. Trust us, Clarence. We won't let anything happen to our favorite bar in town. They mean we value all business in Boston and won't prioritize anyone's safety based on favoritism. Is that not what I just said? The mood lightens again as Declan shakes his head at Lux. You catch the commissioner's eye and smile. Thanks for bringing us today, Commissioner. You're a great friend to 57. Oh, please, a beer and a friendly chat is the least I can do for you. I wish Chief Phoenix were here, but you're right. This really isn't his thing. As the commissioner turns to chat with Harold and Liang, you breathe a sigh of relief. Seems like I managed to convince the commissioner that everything's fine. Still, everyone's chatter fades to white noise as you can't help but wonder. Phoenix, where the hell are you? Well, if he's any guy like me, he's probably venting seething, pouring himself a drink. With a grave. Later, back at the fire station, you still have no idea where Phoenix ran off to. This is getting ridiculous. I've got to find the chief. Let the guy have a day. Holy shit. Considering your difficult relationship, you know you're not supposed to text Phoenix unless it's an emergency. Still, screw it. I'm making the executive decision that is an emergency. Chief, where are you? It's not like you to just call out. I really hope this isn't about last night. We didn't cross any lines. We stopped ourselves before we could go too far. We're all worried. Nobody seems to know where you are. We're all a little freaked out. Let the guy have a day! Seriously, we're not women. I'm sorry to say that, but guys, we go off and we vent. Alone, typically. You wait a minute, and when you get no response, you dial his number. And straight to voicemail. I need to talk to Liang. It's not hard to find him. A few minutes later, you're cornered him in the kitchen. You almost told me something earlier, something about where the chief might be. He sighs, heavily fidgeting with his can of sparkling water. I'm not his keeper, Ridley. What Phoenix does on his own free time is his own business. Except it's not his own time. He's supposed to be at work today. And maybe the squad needs him. You mean maybe you need him? You silently stare at him, refusing to rise to his provocation. He deflates slightly, leaning against the counter. Not really my place to say anything. Look, Liang, you might not care about Phoenix, but he's important to the squad. He looks physically taken aback by your statement. I never said I didn't care about Shay. I would never say that. Can you blame me for assuming you don't? Actions speak louder than words. I know you have complicated history with the chief, Liang, but he's important to the squad. As much as I hate to admit it, you're right. A pregnant pause sits between you as Liang seems to be reconciling with his conscience. Look, I have a pretty good idea where he might be. There's an abandoned warehouse uptown we used to go there together with... You know what, that's Phoenix's story to tell. I'll give you the address if you want to go look for him. Yes, thank you, Liang. But I'll warn you, Ridley. If he's there, he may not want to be disturbed. Even by you. I appreciate the warning, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. A short while later, you've tracked down the address Liang gave you. This is the place. Somehow I can't picture Phoenix hanging out here. You're making your way through the space when you eventually turn a corner and spot him. Ridley. Sitting on a crumbling part of the walls, Chief Phoenix. He looks shocked to see you. Chief, where the hell have you been? Well, here. You can reply to one of my texts to tell me that? Texts. He pats around his pocket and then winces. I must have forgotten my phone at home, sorry. His tone is distant, quiet, like he's mentally somewhere else. Tentatively, you sit beside him. Do you know how worried everyone at the station has been? It's not like you to just call off. The commissioner even stopped by. We had no idea what to tell her. Fortunately, we managed to distract her with drinks at O'Malley's. You went drinking in the middle of a shift? You weren't there. You didn't need to lecture me on responsibility. Phoenix sighs and rubs at his eyes with the heel of his hand. It wasn't my intention to worry anyone, or to leave you, or to make excuses. Intention or not, that's what happened in the inn. I had to squeeze your whereabouts out of Liang. Phoenix immediately stiffens, scowl forming on his face. Liang had no right to disclose. No, we are not doing that right now. Liang was obviously worried too. You should have seen him all day. He was completely out of it. The only reason he told me where you were is because he clearly cares about you in his own way. Really? If you just stop and pay attention every once in a while, you'd see there are people who care about you. And maybe you'd notice how it makes them feel when you don't seem to care back. You and I had a moment last night. Don't try to deny it. I wasn't going to. Maybe not, but you sure as hell aren't acknowledging it either. Oh, for the love of... I'm starting to really hate our MC right now, I'm just saying. Phoenix stares at you, his eyes a mixture of anger and real pain. Eventually he sighs. God, I've really been a jackass, haven't I? Yeah, well, she gaslit you into that. He holds out his hand, palm up. You hesitate, then place your own hand gently in his. I've been thinking about our conversation last night. When I got home, I couldn't think about anything else. And I woke up this morning and I remembered. Remembered? Today is the anniversary of Shelley's death. I've heard that name mentioned a lot. She was important to you, wasn't she? She was in my entire world, given that she was my little sister. I hope you feel really shitty right now, Ridley. Really shitty. Would have been bad enough she was a love interest, but really. Your breath catches as you wait for Phoenix to continue. He fiddles with an 8-pack of beer, as if distracting himself. Shelley was a firefighter, just like me and our old man. We were only a year apart, so we practically were twins. She and I grew up with Liang. We all came up in the same firehouse, which is where they fell in love. Shelley was Liang's girlfriend? She would have been his wife. He proposed 6 months before she died. The severity of his confession settles over you like a lead blanket. At some point, Liang and Phoenix were like siblings. Poor Chief. I can't imagine how complicated all this must have felt. I know. Taking into consideration other people's feelings, it's shocking, isn't it? Comforting by staying silent and listening. He sits silently, carefully watching his face as he considers what to say next. This isn't easy for me to talk about. I'm sure. Just try to relax and let the words come to you. Shelley died in a fire. Liang and I were both on the job with her. 1 minute she was right behind us, the next the entire building was up in flames. He hangs his head, his face obscured by shadows. Your heart squeezes painfully. God, Chief, I'm so sorry. I lost my sister. Liang lost the love of his life. Once he was like a brother, but after Shelley, your relationship never recovered. He blames me for what happened. He thinks I should have been able to save her. Have you talked about this with him, right? Not in so many words, but I can just tell. He cracks open a beer and takes a deep drink. You let the silence sit between you for a moment. I know you think Liang blames you for Shelley's death, but maybe Liang wants to mend your relationship. Today when I implied he doesn't care about you, he got visibly upset. But why? Because he still cares about you? Despite everything, he obviously wants you to be okay. Phoenix sits silently, processing your words. For once, he doesn't seem to have a rebuttal. Maybe I should talk to Liang. God, that sounds so obvious when I say it out loud. Maybe a little, but I don't think anyone can really blame you for how complicated things have been, unless they've been in your situation. How could they know what it's like? The only person who knows is Liang. You nod silently. Phoenix glances sideways and grimaces at your serious expression. Sorry to burden you with all this, Ridley. I know it's a lot. See, this is the trouble with you. You think talking about your feelings is some kind of burden. Typically it is. I could never feel burdened by your feelings, Chief. I want to be here for you. Trust me, I much prefer to being worried sick about you. I really freaked you out today, didn't I? Let's just say, if you weren't my boss, I'd chew you out. To your pleasant surprise, he actually laughs. Right, because my seniority has stopped you from chewing me out in the past. Hey, I'm a lot nicer to you than I could be. You should count your blessings. Somehow I doubt that. You don't seem to have a mean bone in your body. I think there's a bone somewhere. If you promise not to ghost us again, then you won't have to find out.
Fair enough. I promise I won't do it again.
You and Phoenix share a lingering smile. You take one of the beers from his 8-pack and crack it open. The mending fences. Bump the can lightly against Phoenix's beer. A toast. He looks rueful.
I'm not sure how receptive Liang will be after all this time, but it doesn't hurt to try, right?
Now you're getting it. I don't really think he'll be more receptive than you think. He told me about this place, after all. You finally get a chance to take in your surroundings, the abandoned warehouse and covered graffiti. In the moonlight, it's actually pretty beautiful here.
Shelley said almost the exact same thing when she first brought us here. When we were teenagers, Shelley, Stefan, Liang, and I could come here to paint on the walls. It's actually funny. Shelley and I got himself off, looking suddenly sheepish. Sorry, I'm sure you don't want to hear me drone on about my past life.
When will he learn that I want to hear about his past?
Phoenix offers you a small smile. Well, I did bring some paint. He stands up and gestures around the room. This used to be our room. We'd always come here, and this is all the evidence we have left.
Look around the room, realizing that all the graffiti, art, all the writing were done by Phoenix, Liang, and Shelley. It's incredible. It really is your clubhouse.
Phoenix smiles again and hands you a can of spray paint. Shall we get to it?
Absolutely. You watch as Phoenix starts painting on one wall, and then look around for an empty piece of space where you can paint. Oh, this art is so cool and personal. It looks like Phoenix, Liang, and Shelley really poured their heart out there. I'll paint something romantic and abstract picture.
We'll do something romantic. Shake up your can and begin writing Ridley plus Phoenix forever. Jesus Christ, you're a 12-year-old. Phoenix laughs when he sees it. You're practically telling the world about our taboo relationship.
Well, I want the world to know, but since we can't have that for obvious reasons, this is the next best thing.
In that case, why not go full 9, paint a heart around it?
Oh, see, you're an artistic genius. I'll even paint an arrow through it. You both laugh, and for the first time since you found Phoenix, the mood lightens a bit. Okay, I get the appeal of this place now.
Took me a little longer. When Shelley first proposed this as a meeting place, I didn't get it. But pretty soon I realized the whole place was a blank canvas.
He definitely spray paints a bird into a blank piece of wall. You admire his artistic handiwork, impressed. You're good.
You can thank years of doodling on my homework for that.
Phoenix is quiet for a moment, staring at the bird. He just painted. You give him space to think.
You would have loved her. Shelley. I mean, she was the same kind of optimist that you are.
I take it that you gave her as hard a time as you give me, then.
Nowhere near. I was in awe of Shelley. I might have been older, but she was usually the one leading me.
It sounds like Shelley was a strong personality.
You have no idea. She was a total sweetheart, but if you got on her bad side, he shudders and you laugh.
I take it you got on her bad side a lot.
It was hard not to. I had to share a bathroom with a kid for 18 years.
So where did Liang fit into this dynamic?
Believe it or not, he was the peacemaker.
Wow. So he really has changed. Phoenix's smile falters a little and you wince, realizing your mistake. Sorry, I mean, of course he changed.
I wish you would have met him before. He was a sweet kid, sensitive but not shy. He was completely in love with my sister. It was so sweet. I couldn't even tease him about it.
Has Liang moved on at all since Shelley?
Phoenix mulls it over, his expression cloudy and unreadable. No, I don't think so. I think Shelley would be disappointed if she knew that. She'd be disappointed by a lot of things, I think.
Maybe she would. Or maybe she'd be proud that you're opening up to me. It sounds like Shelley wanted you to be happy, like she wanted you to have people you can count on.
Yeah, she did. She'd be thrilled to know I have you in my life, even if things are complicated.
Okay, listen, stop. How did her and Liang make it work then? What's life without a few complications?
See, there's that optimism that Shelley would have loved. I really wish you could have met her.
Me too. I'm just happy to get to know her through you, honestly.
She would have fit right in at the station, too. I could see her sitting in her common room, busting Dick's chops.
Or going toe-to-toe with Lux on witty comebacks.
No one could outwit Shelley. I think she would have been a good influence on Amelia, honestly.
She could have helped Amelia to be more self-assured.
And she definitely would have fought Harold on who could feed the squad.
Shelley could cook?
Oh no, she was an awful cook, but she just thought she was a great one.
Phoenix smiles wistfully, lost in thought for a moment.
We really have a hell of a squad, don't we? Feel guilty making them all worry.
The squad is really understanding. There were a lot of questions, sure, but deep down they all knew you wouldn't call out without a good reason.
It's good to hear, but I shouldn't have worried them. It sounds ridiculous, but it's surprisingly easy for me to underestimate my importance to the station.
I find that hard to believe. I mean, you're our chief.
Chief. It's such a weighty title. Sometimes I wonder how I ended up saddled with it.
You make it sound like you don't want the title.
More like I'm not sure I deserve it. The fact alone that I forced all of you to cover for me, I'm ashamed. I was the one who chose to call out today. I should have dealt with the consequences.
I hate to break it to you, Chief, but we're kind of a family, and families cover for each other. Send my mom that memo.
Oh, it pains. Family, huh? It's been a while since I've been able to use that word. My parents are both gone, and of course, so is Shelley. All I have to talk to is really are my cats.
Hey! We share that in common.
It probably makes me sound pathetic. No.
Not pathetic, lonely. I wish you hadn't gone so long without confiding in someone.
Phoenix sighs, rubbing at his jaw with his knuckles. You're an incredible person, Ridley. You probably deserve better than what I can offer.
Hey, enough self-deprecating talk. So you've made some mistakes. It only proves you're human. I don't want to hear you say, you don't deserve X, or you can't provide Y.
Phoenix opened his mouth as if to protest, but
a warning look from you shuts him up.
Are you bullying me into being kinder to myself?
Is it working?
Sort of.
Then yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. Chief, I want you to know no matter what happens between us, you can count on me.
Starting to understand that, and I appreciate it. After I lost Shelley, I never would have thought I'd be able to confide in someone like this.
It's strange, but Phoenix looks softer, somehow, like the mere memory of Shelley has made him a gentler person.
You know, I didn't even want to become a firefighter at first.
I have a hard time believing that.
It's true. When I was a kid, I really wanted to become an architect. Firefighting was a family business, and I didn't want to follow my dad's footsteps just for the sake of it. But I was always the hero growing up, sticking up for kids who were bullied, rescuing kittens.
Felt like you were a great kid.
Shelley thought so. She encouraged me to join up with her Liang. Between you and me, though, Shelley had the most natural talent of all of us. She was bold, didn't mind taking risks.
Phoenix laughs quietly, looking at his feet.
You actually remind me of her in that regard.
Suddenly something clicks for you that never quite made sense before. Is that why you're so protective of me? Because you're worried that I might...
Yes, Ridley, that's why I'm so protective of you. Shelley was caring, she was sweet, gentle, bright. Just like you. It's not hard to see you and think that the worst might happen.
Wordlessly, you pull him into a brief embrace. His breath rattles in what might be a sob. After the metro fire, when I was sent to the hospital, I can't imagine what you must have felt.
I thought I finally met someone I care for, and I'm gonna lose her. Phoenix pulls back to gaze into your eyes, and you can see a telltale dampness clinging to his lashes. It was the moment I realized how strong my feelings for you really are.
Chief, I'm sorry. I really didn't get it before, but now I do.
Round of applause congrats you caught up. At the same time, you don't have to worry about me so much. Respectfully, Ridley. How do you feel when I tell you the same? How do you feel when I tell you not to worry about me?
You weigh his words carefully and come to a startling conclusion. I feel like I can't help but worry about you because I care about you.
You glance back at Phoenix, and your body pulses with heat when you see him gazing you admiringly. So you get it. The way you feel about me is exactly the same way I feel about you. You hold his gaze, and for the first time a certain understanding passes between you. Close the distance between you and Phoenix, pressing your lips to his in a heated kiss. Phoenix throws an arm around your middle and pulls you closer. Ridley. You shiver when his tongue brushes against yours. His hands are calloused, rough, but his lips are soft. The two of you are pressed so close that you can practically in each other's laps.
Chief,
Shay. Your heart stutters when Phoenix pulls back to gaze lovingly into your eyes. He brushes his lips against your cheek. Just for tonight, you can call me Shay. That night, you're pacing around your apartment, unable to sleep, when you get a text alert. Sorry for texting you so late, you're on my mind.
No need to apologize. You're on my mind too, but that's pretty much always the case.
I'm really glad I met you, Ridley.
I'm glad I met you too, Shay.
You practically throw your phone on the couch and cover your face with your hands.
Oh no, this has gotten more serious than I ever thought it would. I don't know how I let this happen, but I think I'm falling in love with the Chief.
And roll credits!
Alright, so without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description, plenty of things to check out. Also, join and thanks feature on the channel. Consider supporting, it'd be greatly appreciated. Other than that, there's also other ways to support too. If you want to, feel free to ask. Other than that, alright, let's get into it. So, yeah! Me and Shay share a bit of similarities. Not in the terms of firefighting or, you know, losing your sister. I haven't lost a sibling yet, but, you know. Lost a lot of other people, though. How can I put this? Guys, again, like I kind of said during the video, guys go off on their own. Because it's literally and figuratively what we're taught to do as guys. And there's a lot of, like, how can I put this? There's a lot of society to fault there. Our mothers, our fathers, our family, society, the whole nine yards, every single one is to blame for that because we're told to be strong, we're told to be this and that and the whole nine yards. And yes, we should. No, like, I as a guy, you know, I aim to be as strong and as supportive and protective and whatnot as possible. However, I do have a heart, I do have a soul, I do have kindness, I do have emotions, I do have everything that a woman has, but, you know, I also have that male purpose, right? But we're told just to not be a baby, to, you know, shut up, to keep it to yourself, don't let him show weak, or don't let him see weakness, the whole nine yards. And so we go off on our own. We literally and figuratively go off on our own. We push everyone away. It's literally, I mean, I still do it to this day. I do it, like, because I just don't want to be hurt, / I don't want to hurt someone. And I don't want to argue, and just, I don't like drama or anything else. I just, I'm just, I don't know, I guess you could say too old for this shit. I'm an old soul, right? You may think spring chicken, but no, my soul's about 800 years old. Let's put it that way.
you know, I can honestly say I was ahead of the curve with everything else, from accepting people and letting everyone, love whoever they wanted to love, and I didn't care about, anything that stood between it and the whole nine yards. I think the world itself, the world, not just a country, all 195 countries in the world, the entire world, we should stop looking at such trivial things that this world is on about and disliking one another. The whole nine yards. We have so much in common, and yet so much not in common. That's what makes us all unique and makes us our own person. And I don't know. I wish we were better. I really do. So, little small nuggets here in this video, a little jam packedness. Um, yeah, just a lot to unpack with this chapter is how it makes me feel as a guy. So, and little as a person. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section. But yeah, no, the MC though, pain in my ass. Listen, like the way she acts, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh, I didn't listen. If people felt emotions more and cared more about one another, they would understand instead of being suddenly blindsided by, oh, I didn't think about that, and just God, our MC for being so, air quote empathetic and really bringing the firehouse together just seems to be a clueless idiot. So that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on that. Again, writing to blame here. I get it. There are some people who are like that, but they are also typically people who aren't empathetic. Okay, they don't have empathy at all. They're typically more leaning towards apathy, and they just aren't as we have been portrayed in all these chapters. So you have to be concisive and cohesive with your writing, especially about a character that literally you're playing. It pisses me off. Anyway, I'm gonna stop ranting now. I'm done with choices for the week. I'll see you all on Wednesday, unless you actually want other content, which will be up from RC, maybe a stream. I don't know, but look forward to it. Catch you all later. Peace out.